And hello, everybody. Welcome back for another episode, if not when. Today, I have such an honor to introduce such a superstar. We got Dr. Yinka Opeke with us today. And if you don't know Dr. Yinka, oh my goodness, my friend, you are here for a treat. Let me tell you more about Dr. Yinka. Today, she is a CEO and founder at a Smart Gas and Petroleum. She is from Africa, if you did not know that. Today, she is so passionate about bridging US and Africa and truly promote the prosperity for both sides. And she is someone truly have a big heart, want to make this world a better place. With that, without further ado, please join me to welcome Dr. Yinka. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the show.
Oh, wow. You're so full of life, Wen. Thank you so much for having me. Hi, everyone.
Of course, this is, such a pleasure. So, Dr. Yinka, you are, oh my goodness, such an overachiever. You as a serious entrepreneur, you've done a lot. You had such a long journey. So tell us, how does all the magic that begin? How do you come to this moment?
Wow. Where do I start from? That question, I don't even know how to start it. But even I am in awe about my journey. That's the truth. Because, over the years, I look at the sectors I have played in. I look at the impacts, I have made and feedback from people. And I really wonder how I'm able to put everything together, but at the end of the day, I think over the years, I've been able to identify areas of opportunities and challenges, because where there are challenges, it's easier for you to create value. So because I'm quite value driven, and I realized that there's something that needs to be done in a sector, I'm more of a doer as well. Sometimes I think I do more than I think. And then I start doing, I now start thinking of, okay, how do I get it, So I think it's a skill, quite honestly, that I've grown to unearth over the years, I think I was like this 10 years ago, 15 years ago when I started business, but it's safe to say that over the years, I have a lot of I wouldn't call them mistakes, but whatever it was, I learned from them, made better decisions, So when you find yourself in different sectors, because you're nurse to your management skills, you're able to know how to apply things and how to make decisions and things like that. So quite honestly, it's a summary of that flexibility, ability to understand that you can, and can go for it, self-belief, self-development, having great mentors in the industry, asking questions, being able to research. It's just a combination of so many things, quite honestly.
Wow. Dr. Yinka, you are just such a visionary. And I love you summarize so well that you're such a doer, and I can tell that all you want is truly making an impact, leveraging all the resources, all your knowledge, and truly just create something that truly incredible. And let's, take it back regarding, are you always that way? Like, were you born this way? Like, how do you come this journey? And if I remember correctly, you're from Africa, correct? How's your journey from Africa to Houston today? How was even that begin?
Okay, so was I born with it? I would definitely say somewhat, because for you to really be an entrepreneur, quite honestly, there are certain skills that you need to have. Then there's another thing about you now harnessing the skills, but some people, when they see me, they're like, oh my God, how do you get all the energy to do this? They're not really like that. So sometimes I think the personality plays a role. When you now identify that you have that kind of personality, then you now ask yourself, do I want to build on it? So, and then, yes, I'm from Africa. I'm actually from Nigeria, proudly Nigerian. How did I find myself in America? Like I mentioned, I'm quite intentional in the journey of life. Quite honestly, I could be a bit deep when it comes to that. It's kind of like spiritual, because I believe that regardless of where I am, regardless, if it wasn't America, it could be somewhere else. So the location doesn't really matter to me. It's just really a belief in the fact that wherever you are, you have all it takes to make an impact. So when I realized that, and like I said, because I've become very sensitive to things around me and all that, I always know when it's time to make a change. So at the time I was Nigeria, I would say, without modesty, that I was not doing badly at all. I was doing my business. I resigned from paid employment in 2010, even though I'd been doing business since about 2005, but I resigned fully to start business in 2010, and I remember that at the time I was leaving, my businesses were still thriving. But some way, somehow, I just knew it was time for me to make that move. And without figuring everything out, even though, of course, to a very large extent, I made my inquiries, had some funds and all of that, I just took the leap and said, well, I think you have everything it takes. Just go there and see what comes of it. So that's really been my approach in doing things, that flexible mentality, ability to ask the right questions, to be able to have, reasonable insights and then taking calculated risk. And whatever comes out of it, I'll just own it. The consequences, really.
That's so beautiful. And you talk about reasonable insight. Can you unpack that for our readers, our listeners, right? Because we all have that gut feeling, we all have the hunches, but then more often than not, people are stopping by fear or by insecure. Oh my God, is it really? Am I can do this? Am I built for this? Right? We all have so many questions. How would you discernment that? How would you come through? Is that reasonable insight or not? And then with that moment of you talk about 2010 or 2015, how do you move forward with that insight?
So that's a very critical thing that you have talked about. And it's because it's quite difficult to do. So I'm not going to say it's easy. It's because it's quite difficult. That's why a lot of people don't do it. Does not mean that it's not doable. So at that point, it's really about leaving your comfort zone. Then your personality, your qualities, your character now starts to come out. It's like you're training a child. It's not easy, but it's just consistency. So like I said, the kind of resolve I have now wasn't the same I had when I started business. So the issue of fear that you talked about, most times it is self-imposed. It's just, oh, what if, all those what ifs are in your head, quite honestly. So a lot of them are not real. And then it's okay when you have the mindset that, okay, let me plunge out and do this. If I make a mistake, it's okay, but I learn from it. People don't want to make that mistake. They want to get it right from the beginning. So that is the issue of the expectations. And I always say, take it a step at a time. So I, for one, over the years, like I said, for example, if I was going on a vacation, anywhere I'm going on a vacation, I'll ask myself, what course, what education can I do while I'm on that vacation? Even though it's a 3-day course, a 5-day course, I was so big on self-development. I realized that the more self-development I had, the more confidence I had, the more knowledge I had. Because when you know better, you do better. Now and that's the way you start building mutual credibility with people in the industry. So it's a lot of skills that you have to be.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's, that is such a beautiful insight. I can definitely see, Dr. Yinka, you are such a lifelong learner. And I think that's what made you such a brilliant businesswoman, CEO, leaders. So let's circle back, right? You talk about, back in Africa, you have the hunch and you decide to leave that quote unquote comfort zone, that incredible business you were in. Tell us about that. Tell us about that journey.
It actually took, from the moment I decided and the moment I left, it took me about just 3 months.
That's it?
That's it. Honestly,
oh my God.
Honestly, and I keep saying it. That's the thing about me. I'm just a doer.
And you left the whole family. You left everything. You left all the business, all the incredible.
Yes, because it starts with mine. No, but luckily, so that was the thing. When I started business, I started small, even though I had big intentions. And that's, like I said, going back to issues of training and all those kind of things. They tell you how to be structured, no matter how small you are. Even if you have businesses, you have 3 staff, be structured. So my business have always been structured. And luckily for me, my staff, I train them through mentorship. So there's not going to ask you to do that I can do, so I'm diligent in the things that I do. So when you are able to do things that way, you are able to delegate things to people a lot. I'm not the kind of person that I have to do everything as well. So having said that, the moment I decided in my mind that I was going to leave, I started taking steps. It starts with the mind. Now, what are the steps I need to take? I need to do this, that. And I started making them daily goals. And luckily, because over the time I had built a level of financial capacity,
Mhm.
you can't underrate the importance of having financial capacity to do
Mhm.
certain things. So
Mhm.
because I built that as well, I was able to put the funds behind the actions.
Mhm.
And at that point, I spoke to everybody that was important in my life, telling them I was doing this, I was doing that. And over the years too, they have learned to respect my decisions because they have seen that it comes from a place of objectivity. So you
Mhm.
kind of like put yourself to people and they're thinking, okay, there must be something you can solve for her to have such money to do this. So that's really
Mhm.
what it is. Like I said, I'm just a doer. I can't explain.
Wow. You truly, this firecracker, just have such a fire in your chest, and I just think it's such an inspirational to see you just follow it. And 3 months changing the country, that is, not a small feast. And my personally speaking, I prepared myself for 4 years. So wow, I mean, truly kudos to you. So back to you, right? So tell me, 3 months later, you come to America, and then now what? Do you start a business, or how does that
Yeah.
reality compared to our expectation 3 months later? How does that world look like? How do you start the business from that moment on?
Fantastic. That's a good question. So, like I said, there was background knowledge. It wasn't like I was coming into something totally different. I'd been holidaying in the US, for years. I knew the state I was coming into. I had friends from high school. So I knew I had like a soft landing, right? And when I came in, I had a business I was doing at that time, which I was selling some of the products in the US as well. So from the get go, I had put all those products on Amazon, eBay, Etsy. I was already selling those products. So from day one, I was making a few dollars. You get what I mean? Even though I came with some level of money that, okay, if I don't make any money in the next 1 year, am I able to sustain myself and all of that, and the family and all of that. So when I came in, one thing about me is the fact that I understand the fact that I'm very good with strategies. Is one of my strengths. I knew that coming to the US, the strategy had to be different compared to Nigeria because they're two totally different terrains. So the first thing I did was I joined a lot of local chambers of commerce. As a matter of fact, I think I joined up to 5 of them. Because I know that. And I was like that in Nigeria as well. I was very big on chambers of commerce, because all the time these guys have meetings, they have seminars, they have conferences. So that was an easy way for me to have an understanding of the business terrain here in Texas, Houston precisely. So I started that, and in no time I realized that the trading I was doing, I didn't really want to do that because I saw bigger opportunities in the US. And that was really what led me to start doing the consulting, where I now start bridging the gap and promoting trade between businesses in African countries and in the US. So, like I said, it gets to a point whereby you have nursed your skills and your antennas are so up, you're so sensitive to see where the opportunities are and just go for it. So that was just what it was. I came in, I joined chambers, I was selling my products, and I started just evolving. And based on my huge network in Nigeria, it was easy for me to now start looking for how to create, the collaboration, the market. So I just sit down and I create my products, kind of like, create a service because, here we are more developed, there we're developing. So there's a lot of value you can actually, share. And that was it. That was a, starting point for me.
You are such a doer. Like, this is not even just a cute saying. You actually are. I just imagine you land in US, like brand new country, brand new environment. And yes, it's soft landing, but still, it's a new everything. You just start hustling already. You're not sitting here just waiting, hoping for matches to appear. You already start hustling. And I think
Yeah.
that is so incredible. You have um, such a determination and such a vision at who you are and how do you contribute, how do you bring the value to the world. And I think that is such a
Yeah.
beautiful gift of who you are. And I think that is contribute to, I think, one of the major reasons why you are so successful as a business leader today.
Yes, I think so as well. And I don't take it lightly.
You always thought you're going to be entrepreneur, Yinka.
No, actually.
No, because along the journey, everything you just seems like to me is you have a vision, you just go for it. And
Yeah.
whether it's leaving your hometown, come to US, start the first business, or all the things you do, you seems like having a pattern within you. So that's why I'm curious about. Do you always know what you wanted it, and how does that come from? Yeah.
Okay, so I would say growing up, I never thought I had because I grew up in a moderately decent and comfortable family. My dad was more of an expatriate, traveling all around the world, with the United Nations. My mom was an academia, and for her, it was really about, studying. And she was the one that even prompted me to go and do my doctorate, but she passed on earlier this year, may her soul rest in perfect peace. But growing up, we really did not grow up with any specific needs because, my dad was a provider. However, when I started in Nigeria, there's something that we do. When you finish your college, then you go for what we call NYSC. It's like you're serving the nation for 1 year. It was actually during that period that I realized that I had the business skills. That was what really started it because I was serving in another state outside Lagos State. Lagos is like the commercial hub of Nigeria. When you hear Nigeria, you hear Lagos, and then you may hear Abuja. So I was serving in Port Harcourt, and I realized that a lot of people in Port Harcourt hadn't been to Lagos before, surprisingly. And in Lagos, they used to sell so many things. It was, like I said, commercial hub. So I just thought, oh, why don't I go to Lagos to buy some very nice children's clothes? Parents are always about their children, especially women. And then I go and buy so many colorful stuff from the local market. And then I'll take it to Port Harcourt and people will be rushing it, struck. I was like, what? So that was when I was like, are you kidding me? So that was really what started my, so I spiraled into so many other things from there. So I really did not know initially, but of course, when I started that, I was like, okay, I think I'm onto something with this.
So you are really entrepreneurial minded, even though you did not know maybe that what that even means, but you just always that in terms of the insight and vision and what you wanted to do in life.
Absolutely. You're right. Because I remember that even when I finished that 1 year service for the government, I got a paid employment, but I knew that I was just using that to buy time. I knew I wasn't ready for the 9 to 5 circular job and all of that. So
you already knew that? That's such a young age?
Yes, I already knew that. So even when they were doing promotions and things like that, I wasn't really big on that because for me, I was just buying time to know what I wanted to do. And then I now traveled, to the US for my master's and to the UK for my master's in project management. So over time, I got to, and that was why I did a few businesses, before I kind of had a more clarity of vision as to what I wanted to do. But I knew earlier on that I wasn't going to be in paid employment for a long time.
Wow, I love that. As such a young woman at that moment, that young person, you already knew, even though you don't know what you want, but you know what you don't want, which is, I think, is equally important. And I think
exactly.
I think having that courage to claim that, even though that's in your heart, but sometimes we can't claim that because we are younger at the time, right? You probably think, well, everybody else going for that route, that path, I must go that too as well. So having that courage to truly honor what is in your heart and truly just share that. I think that's really incredible.
I think so. Yeah.
So, Dr. Yinka, you, of course, such a serious entrepreneur. Along the year, you start so many different ventures. So tell us, along the journey, what is the hardest thing you would have to overcome? Hardest thing you ever do in terms of the business journey?
I wouldn't really say to overcome. I'd have to really think about that quite honestly because nothing sticks out to me like, oh, this was a problem.
Maybe it's not about like a business, like a decision or challenge. It's more like, today we all talk about startup business. It sounds such a sexy term. Everybody want to jump into the world, but you want me to know this, right? That it's not just a sexy glamorous from outside. There's so much hustle in between, and there's so many moment. I imagine, you or me or any client you're working with or any entrepreneur you talk to, he or she probably had the moment, they feel like I'm gonna throw the towel. I don't know. I'm done. This is not for me. Today is 1,000 no I got in a row. Investor told me no. My customer told me no. My husband told me no. My wife told me no. I'm failing every single thing. I'm done today. And then tomorrow, somehow miraculously, he get up and say, you know what? God damn it. Today is a brand new day. I got this, right? And I imagine that fire, that chest, that whatever version that I just described, sounds sort of in every single one entrepreneur. So that's what I'm curious about. If you have a moment that is really just so difficult, speak out to you mentally, environmentally or financially or any sort of perspective, and you have to really push over. And that moment almost become the defining moment of who you are today as a successful business leader.
Okay. So I'm going to be truthful with you. I have never had such a moment. And I'm going to be truthful with you. Honestly, and let me break it down. Have there ever been any moments I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this again. It's so tough. No. Have there been moments I'm like, oh, wow, today was a stressful day. Oh, this guy's going to ever. So that's different. You get what I mean? But
Yes.
there's never been moments whereby I'm like, I'm dropping the pen, I'm dropping the mic, bye. No, because so for me, I keep saying it. I think that my strongest asset is my
Mhm.
mindset.
Oh, tell me some more.
Well, when I feel good things will happen to me, I feel bad things will happen to me. I feel sometimes I'll have business challenges. I feel sometimes I'll have victories. So when you have those things, you're like, okay, if it's not happening to me, who else is it going to happen to? I'm a human being. It will happen to me. So when you already have that mindset, you understand the fact that it's a journey. I'm just praying that it's not a long part of my journey. You get what I mean? So I'm thinking, okay. So when things like that happen, I take some time to internalize and I'm like, oh God. And then I just like, okay, what are the next steps? Who do I
Mhm.
have to speak with? Is it something money can solve? Is it something that a call can solve? Is it something that time only can solve? So
Mhm.
I kind of like, distress that way.
Mhm.
But if I have to say, doing business in my country is a bit more difficult than doing it here because
Mhm.
of the bureaucracy involved.
Mhm.
Especially now that, for example, I'm in oil and gas, is a sector that is highly regulated by the federal government and
Mhm.
even state government. So that bureaucracy, you have to deal with it. Some inefficiencies here and there, you have to deal with it. And that's why I talk about the issue of time.
Mhm.
So sometimes there's nothing you can do about anything. So I ask myself, is it within my control? If it
Mhm.
is, what are the next steps? Going back to the issue of being a doer.
Mhm.
So and then a lot of times too, I like to unwind with my very close network of friends, my family and things like that. So I really take the very simple things. So when I feel stressed, do I want to go for a massage? Do I want to go to the spa? Do I want to just take a wine and some oxtail? So it's really that simple for me. I don't, and then
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I'm asking myself, what's the worst thing that can happen? So it's not the end of the world, Yinka. So just chill, just chill. It's really like that, honestly, because if not, oh, there'll be so much stress on me. So nothing
Mhm.
comes out as so much of because the challenges I enjoy them. My work has become my hobby. So when
Mm.
those challenges, like I said, for me, it just makes the story sweeter. And when you're discussing it with people like when you're now saying, oh, at that time this happened, and you're able to encourage other people who are also doing business and are having challenges. So
Mhm.
I don't really see challenges as, oh, my life is over. I,
Mhm.
I just suck it up.
I love that. What a beautiful and healthy mindset about really what work is. And truly it is. It's not who you are as a person. If you have a hard day, it's just it. You
Exactly.
move on. You have a brand new day. And I love that how you kind of put it such a clean, organized, and simple, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you talk about Inka that you now the work has become fun, has become your hobby. So tell us, what are you doing now, and what do you want to accomplish in terms of what legacy you want to leave on the planet?
Oh wow. Yeah. So for example, let me put it this way. On my birthday, June 27th was my birthday. A friend of mine was asking me, how do you feel today? And what I told her, I had to like think about it. And I told her that I feel very happy. I feel very contented. I feel very fulfilled. And I just, so I live in the moment. That's number one. And business, for example, business is just secondary. You know, I'm happy to have the health to do the business. So where do I find myself now? I find myself playing actively in the oil and gas sector. It's a very huge and scalable business. And the reason why I like it, I'm excited about it, is the fact that it's something that is tech based, it's something that is scalable, it's something that is required, it's something that our government is trying to promote gas adoption as a form of cleaner energy. So it's a very relevant business line that doesn't require me to be the interface. So whether you like my face or not, you're still going to buy some gas to cook. So I like that side of the business. I still do the consulting aspect of the business. We're not doing our exhibitions that we used to do before. in America, in Houston, whereby we invite small businesses from Africa to bring their export-oriented products and services, and then we get local buyers and all that because of the COVID. So I kind of like have downplayed that. I'm also a realtor in Houston. I kind of have downplayed that as well to just be in referral status. So when I see anybody who needs a house, I just refer to my friend and my other colleagues. So I'm really more into the oil and gas right now. And when I think about the sectors I have played over the years, sometimes, like I said, I amuse myself. So when we are starting this business and people are like, oh, they might copy your app, I'm like, even I don't know what I want to do tomorrow. But the truth of the matter is that an imitator will always be behind the inventor. So I've realized that I have a very healthy creative mindset. So what I even want to do tomorrow, I don't know. So now I'm in oil and gas. I've been in real estate. I've been in branding. I've been in sales and marketing. So I kind of like I've been in different sectors. I've been in fashion. I've been in retail. So all those experiences are what I'm using right now in smart gas in Nigeria, and the future of smart gas. Quite honestly, God giving us life, it's huge because it's something that is relevant in all African countries. Because right now we don't have gas piped to our homes like we have it in US, where you turn on your cooktop and then your gas comes. In Nigeria, we still have to use the propane tanks that we use for barbecue here. You take it to a plant and you have it filled. So our app is trying to eliminate all that process. So it's something that is scalable into other African countries. You get what I mean? And Nigeria has 36 states. So it's a whole lot. So I think for now, I'm going to really explore, that market, it's quite interesting as we learn along the journey. And I like the fact that we are incorporating technology into it. So we tell people Smart Gas is a technology company playing in the oil and gas space. So that's what it is.
So beautiful. So with that, what legacy you want to leave behind?
I want people, when they talk about me, I'd like them to know that for me, it's all about the value. It's all about empowerment. It's beyond what Yinka wants to eat, what she wants to wear. It's not really about that. But success is about impact. And I always say I'd rather be rich in people than rich in money. Because before money can do anything, people will do. So in terms of impact, I'd also want my kids, to know that my mom was a hardworking woman and she lived the life. She didn't neglect us, so I try to live a balanced life. So really, it's just about a life of impact, let people be able to say yes, one way or the other, she helped me this way or the other, she gave me the inspiration for this or that, and it's really that simple.
And you talk about success for impact. So I'm curious, let's unpack that. So what is definition of success for you? And for that, are you successful today?
For me, success is not just about money. Like I said, being fulfilled at what you're doing is successful to me. At every point, taking it a day at a time. So it's not a destination for me. As at today, if anything had to happen, I would say I am successful because of the things I've been able to do. Because the truth is, if you do stuff and you're getting feedback that, what you're doing is making impacts, you're going to be happy. You're happy. You understand what I'm saying? It's a selfless lifestyle. So for me, that is success. It's as simple as that, And then, of course, if you're able to throw a few bucks here and there, go on vacations and get all those designer bags and shoes, who doesn't like that? So so that's that part. And then you're able to be with family and friends, weekends. I have my nephews and nieces coming along. We're going to the water park, just the simple things of life, quite honestly. And of course, you have good health. It's not really more than that, because it's when you're thinking about the big things that you're not contented about the present. But for me, every day is a good day.
Why is that? Why every day is a good day for you?
For starters, there's life. Starters, there's so much going on with this COVID thing. For example, do you know how many people have lost their lives? They've lost loved ones. Look at the issues in Afghanistan. There's just so much going on. Mm-hmm. So it's really about perspective. If you don't have the right perspective to things, you keep whining about the things that you don't have, and you're losing focus of the so many things that you're enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. Yeah. So that's why I feel every day is a gift.
I think you have such a beautiful mindset about life and everything, Inka, whether it's, the moment of truly, looking at perspective, looking at how much we have and living this, wealth country with AC, with the light, with the internet, and also truly
Yeah,
living the moment, enjoy those small moments, whether it's spend time with family, with friends, and just so beautiful. And Inka, I want to ask you, you come a long way, right? It's been 10 plus years you coming to America, coming to Houston. You establish your root here, and you create a lot of impact along the journey through the businesses. I'm curious, what is the definition of American dream means for you?
American dream, based on what they say, is it's you being able to accomplish anything that you set your mind to do. I think that's what the American dream is. And I agree with that. Because I remember that when I came, a lot of my friends here, usually they're in the secular 9 to 5 jobs, so they're not really in the business space. So something as small as, oh, where do I register a business? They really did not know because it was not their sector. So I'm trying to say I came here and I started from zero, finding out information, going to places, going to websites, but those things are doable. So it now becomes the ball is in your court. What do you want to do? So I agree with that, America is a place where dreams can be achieved. It all starts with you. It's the mindset. As
Mhm.
of today, like I said, I'm doing smart gas, I'm doing some businesses. I'm doing businesses here as well. And I just take it a day at a time. Do I know what I'm going to do in the next 6 months and 1 year? No, I don't.
It's beautiful. I love just living the moment. And you think it's so beautiful. You say when you first come here, right? You do have friends but they are, they doing their thing and you want to start business, but you even at the time don't even have information about where to start. Do you ever fear or afraid? Will you ever, because there's so much unknown, it's a new country, new way of doing things simply, right? Were
Yes.
you ever afraid along the journey? Because you've done a lot of incredible, impossible things to normal people. I'm curious, how were you able to just do it?
Okay. So maybe when I started business, maybe, which I can't really remember, when I started, I may have been scared to take a leap at that time. But like I said, this has been years ago. But
Mm,
now, if that dream doesn't scare me, it doesn't excite me.
mm,
So I don't come from a position of fear because
mm,
I come from a position of, wow, I'm excited. I'm going to learn. I'm going to know. I'm going to meet people. And I tell people when I meet them in the journey of business, I'm like, even if we don't do business together, I have made a new acquaintance. I have made a new friend.
beautiful.
So, as if have I been scared? No, because even in America is way better. I go into a place easily. I can meet people. I can talk to them. Back home, there's a lot of bureaucracy. Before you can meet the top guy, you have to speak to this person. So it's even easier for me here in America, quite honestly,
Mhm,
because system. And then for me, I had seen the importance of structure. I've seen the
mhm,
importance of working smart and not just working hard. So all those things are things that I'm able to do here. So I really like it here because it allows me to do things the way I want to do it. Because when you're efficient, you are easily scalable. You can actually focus on so much, because there is structure. You can plan. So I wouldn't say at this point I hardly fear anything, because like I said, what's the worst thing that can happen? You're not doing business with me. Okay, bye.
mhm, mhm.
Yes,
Inka, oh my God. I just love your perspective. I love that, I understand you coming from, different world just like myself, but because of you have such a beautiful perspective about life, about business, about everything around. And I think because of that, you have such a beautiful energy and light about you and all the things you bring on the table. I think that's why people love to do business with you or to be friends with you, all and above. So it's just so beautiful. My last question, for you today is, you have just done, so incredible. So, any suggestion and advice you will share with fellow entrepreneurs or inspiring entrepreneurs who have an idea, who maybe in the urge of jumping and who maybe are, in a setback, in a challenging time in this pandemic, like what would you say to him or her, really just move forward, just do it, like you said, like what would you share that with them?
I think the first thing I'll tell people is be your greatest cheerleader. Own it. Stop saying, oh, my husband didn't do it, my wife didn't do it, my mom wasn't there to help me. Stop all that whining. That's the truth. Because excellence of those days are standards of today. So for you to be extraordinary, you need to put in the extra. It's just as simple as that. It's not about, oh, I didn't like the way Yinka spoke to me. Oh, they didn't call me at the right. Stop the excuses. Let your resolve be stronger than your excuses. Because if you tell me 1,000,001 reasons why I can't do something, I will equally tell you 1,000,001 reasons why I will do it. Whether I fail or not is secondary. So that's one. Let them be self-motivated. Number two, surround yourself with people with similar mindsets or those who even have more ambition. That's it. Number three, accept the mistakes and learn from them. Expect them to come. You need to make those mistakes. Don't try to figure it out. Sometimes it's better for you to be the first than for you to be the best. You will figure it out when you start. And it's just a whole lot of things. Just own it. Own yourself, own your person. Don't be apologetic about it, but don't rub people off wrongly. Relationships are also very key. Business is about the networks. You have a good personality. You have to respect people, respect their time, respect yourself. Be well put together as well. If you feel you're not good in an area, and you don't have the finances to hire someone to help you there, you need to build your skill in that area. So self-development is ongoing. So it's a whole lot of things. And then take the calculated risk. You have to take the risk. It is, and so many other things. But it's if you know that you're cut for business, you have to just try. The more you try, the more you fail, the more you win. That's how you build your resolve. That's how you build your motivation. That's how you build the capital. That's how you learn. That's how you do better. So it's a journey, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Oh my goodness. I am just so loving this. I love what you said. It's so beautiful. The more you try, the more you fail, and the more you win. And this is just a whole journey. Enjoy the whole process. It's so beautiful. Honestly. And once again, Dr. Yinka, I just truly, truly so grateful. Thank you so much for today and come to this platform, share your beautiful wisdom and insight with all of us. And I am so inspired. So thank you so much. And also thank you everybody for tuning today. I really hope you all enjoy as much as I do. Because if not now, when? If not you, whom? I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.